What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course. This one is about fairway drivers, and we got this Skywalker too. It's really nice. A lot of good glide, very straight push. This just came out in the Atmos plastic. This is the DGA pipeline. I've never thrown a pipeline. It feels really good in this Atmos plastic. 8502 versus 7402. Let's see how it compares against each other. We're gonna go ahead and start off with a flat to flex, I think, just backhand here on the middle pad for hole number 12. And now for the pipeline, very first time. I don't know how stable it is, don't know how it's gonna fly, but that's what the testing video is for. Okay, grip lock right into a tree branch. I guess FD1 takes the first point. Hopefully for this fairway, early tree hit not going to be in play. So even if grip lock happens, presumably we shouldn't really be messing with the trees. Based off of profiles, it almost feels like the pipeline might be a little bit more angled up, even though they feel about the same parting line. But 8-speed rim versus 7-speed rim, you can tell that there's a difference. It's minor, but this one is slightly wider around the rim diameter, or the rim width right there. And the Atmos plastic is kind of like a modified Z, because DGA is made by Discraft, so it's kind of a modified Z. It's very sparkly, and the Atmos is supposed to be the halo, so you can see this much lighter yellow than this center plate portion, and it's actually a different color. So it's not much halo, but also this isn't much halo either. And these are both basically their clear, translucent, overstable plastic modified to be slightly more unique and pretty. We're gonna go again, Skywalker first. Took the first point. Oh, that's too much turn. Very straight, right into a tree. All right, pipeline, can you work for us? Oh, that's beautiful. That's so good. The kind of feel like the Eagle L from Innova kind of feels like a power thrower's crave, and this feels like maybe a power thrower's crave. That had a really nice just flip and just stayed right on its line, didn't really vary too much, and then dropped out. That was gorgeous. All right, that is pipeline 1 and Skywalker with 1, or FD1 with 1. This is the long pad, or the tee pad for hole number 7, the one that shoots right down the fairway. We're gonna try to get a little bit of a flex shot with these. It's a little bit of a tailwind, so to actually get them to flex, I think I'm gonna have to throw them flat, maybe a touch of Anheuser. But if I push them towards the left wall with Anheuser, they should pull off of the wall and be right in the middle of the fairway. Right idea of a shot, I just gripped it. I grip locked it a little bit too far to the right. I need to aim at those wall of trees. And that one's not gonna flip. Great. Gotta go see if I can fish a disc out of the water. I guess we're gonna skate FD1 with another point. So it's 2-1, but one of those was the release point I wanted one of those was the release angle I wanted. And those were both just bad throws all around. So far, whichever throw I've thrown second has done better than the throw I've thrown first, which tells me that these two are throwing very, very similar. I just haven't figured it out quite yet. And so I'm messing up on the first one and then making the correction on the second one because they're almost identical flights. I do think the pipeline is gonna push a tiny, tiny bit straighter than the FD1, but FD1 2-to-1 right now over the pipeline. We're on the long pad for hole 8. Let's see what the Skywalker can get for us. Oh, that was bad. Honestly, not a bad result, just a terrible release. Maybe a bit better or a worse result, but point goes to the pipeline for this one. I got air under it, and it flies better when you have air under it. So even though it's probably going to be further away from the basket, it had air, it had a little bit of turn and drift. I think it might have caught a leaf or two, and that's why. Versus the shot that I threw directly into the ground and then just skipped up the fairway, which is not always the best way to play disc golf. So 2-to-2, pipeline versus Skywalker 2. We're gonna try a forehand. I don't know how this is gonna work out because they're not exactly the most torque resistant of shapes, but this plastic feels really good and I've gotten this one to work out some. So let's go pipeline first. And now for the Skywalker, or the FD1. I think as far as stability and torque resistant, I think the FD1 might be more stable. Even the Skywalker 2 is just, I think it's probably that blunter nose with that slight little nose bead on the bottom of the rim. I think that's what's given it to the FD1 over the pipeline. But the pipeline is amazing and honestly does have a shot at going in the bag. Pipeline is up 1. We're gonna throw one more drive. Well, whichever one is going in the bag has to win by 2. So if the pipeline wins on the next, pipeline wins. All right, correction on the first throw this time, but not the second throw. And then maybe we'll have 2 good throws and so we can really actually pair them up against each other. Because right now, each one has had a good throw on each hole. They just haven't had it against each other. So I'm just kind of guessing which one is more stable. Yeah, that's just an 8-speed Crave. That's what that is. At this point, I think that the FD1 is more stable after watching that throw, but it could have been a weird wind out there, so let's throw the FD1 as well. And that one hits the pole, and that, no, win by 2. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Gotta go find more holes because win by 2 is hard when you've already played almost all the driver holes and they're still tied. So the pipeline must have caught some type of extra wind because it was on the other side of the trees. It was down there almost on the road. That's insane. That's incredible. That's an 8-speed. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, FD1 and the pipeline are tied up. FD1 is going first. Let's hope that we can get somebody to score 2 in a row on 17 and 18 so we can finish it out. FD1, 1 up. Here's what we're gonna do. The FD1 and the pipeline are different. The FD1 kind of fits into the slot And especially if you get not the Skywalker, but the stock FD1, it's gonna fit into that slot a little bit better. The Pipeline has a battle, or needs to have a battle, against the Eagle L. The FD1 is more the battle for the Eagle X. The Pipeline feels a little bit more Eagle L. So Pipeline's a great disc. It's not the overstable fairway slot I was looking for, but it might be the super straight flip up to flat fairway slot I was looking for. Still, Pipeline thrown off first. So I know that the Skywalker's going back in the bag, or the FD1's going back in the bag. Pipeline's not, but you will see the Pipeline again. Do not worry, this disc is coming back out. That's very much like an Eagle L. Very Eagle L, very Crave-like, but feels better in my hand than a Crave because the bigger rim. It almost might be bigger than an Eagle. So it might be more comfortable. I'll have to do that battle later. Let's see how far we can get the Skywalker to go. Yeah. So FD1, stable fairway, still for right now. That could change. Eagle L, still the flippy fairway for right now. That can also change. We're gonna do a complete video on the whole like fairway control driver spot in my bag because it's very, very overcluttered and I need to make some more space. Hopefully you guys are enjoying content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff though, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. Helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. It definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.